4 more new cards have just been added to the upcoming core set, Doom of Dimensions, and it seems as if they're more like world premiere cards. It seems like I really don't know what to call them, but I will say that these 4 cards might just end up making the meta a little bit interesting in the long run. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna get straight into it. Kicking these off, we have a brand new trap card known as Ms. Okiku's Dish with Meth. I'm trying to pronounce this so much. Dish Rhythmetic. Dish Rhythmetic. Literally, it is a very crazy tongue twister. Try saying that 10 times fast. Not possible. Not even possible. But it is a continuous trap with 3 separate effects. The first one says once per chain, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can place dish counters on this card equal to the chain link number of this effect. Second effect reads, apply these effects based on the number of dish counters on this card. 9 or less. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. 10 or more. Send this card to the grave. Third effect reads, if this card is sent to the grave by its own effect, you can send the top 10 cards of your deck to the grave. So this is a bit of a weird floodgate, right? This is really weird because if it gets popped by its own effect, you literally get to mill 10 from the top of your deck to the graveyard, which, interestingly enough, this card can actually work with Kashira, Tirlame, and Ryziel and Malice. Literally, those are the 4 decks that this card can be used in, making those 4 decks even more dangerous than they have ever been right now, which is, it's insane. It is insane. So, like, literally, you're able to force a chain link 10, meaning that this card would gain 10 dish counters. It gets popped, you mill 10, and now you're you're able to combo off like it's absolutely nothing, unless if your opponent has cards like Ash Blossom and Ghost Bell and Call By, perhaps maybe an Imperm, if you will. There's quite a few. This card is very, very nasty, to say the very least. Next up, we've got, if my phone will stop producing ads, we've got Apocaries. I believe I am saying that right. Apocaries? I believe it's how it's pronounced. And it literally looks like they're inside a mouth. Tell me I'm wrong. It looks like they're inside a mouth, which is very, very disturbing. So this is a continuous spell with 2 separate effects. The first one reads, when this card resolves, place C counters on this card equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Second effect reads, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and remove up to 4 C counters from your field. Apply this effect to that monster based on the number removed. 1. It loses 500 attack. 2. Change its attack to 0. 3. Negate its effects. 4. Destroy it. So, interestingly enough, if your opponent has let's say six counters on it. Let's say this card has 6 counters on it because your opponent has 6 monsters on board, or if they used up both extra monster zones because they put you in what's known as the U-lock for cyber stacks, that means 7 monsters that they would have plus 5 back row and a field spell. That's literally 13. That's literally that's 13 cards. You would be able to negate effects 4 times, which this card is basically a continuous version, a spell version of Appaloosa. So in a way, this is kind of like a retrain version of Appaloosa with a bit of a twist, if you will. So that's actually pretty crazy. Got to admit, that's insane. An insane version of Appaloosa. Not gonna lie, that's pretty sick. Next up, we've got Miasma Necromancer. And I gotta say, the artwork actually looks pretty badass. It actually looks hella badass, in a way. That's pretty sick. But it is a dark spellcaster Link 2 with 1800 attack, and its arrows are left and right, and it requires 2 monsters, including a dark spellcaster. And both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is Link summoned, you can add a level 5 or higher dark spellcaster from your grave to your hand, and if you do, you cannot activate the effects of cards with its name for the rest of the turn. Second effect reads, you can send a spell trap from your hand or field to the grave, and immediately after it the effect resolves, normal summon a spellcaster. Oh my god, yeah, Dark Magician much? Yeah. Dark Magician much. So you can literally add Dark Magician to your hand from your grave. You can send a spell that you don't need to the grave, and normal summon an additional, and normal summon a card like what's a good example? Magician's Rod can get you into more of your plays. This card is sick. This card is absolutely sick. Perfect for the Dark Magician decks. Not gonna lie, that's pretty crazy to say the very least. Now for the final card of today's video, it is known as Serzabuth Lamargia of the Ebon Irons. Oh my god, such fucking hard ass names. What the hell? I swear, the names just get weirder and weirder and more difficult to pronounce. Literally, it does. Anyway, it is a rank 7 Dark Beast Exceeds, 700 attack, 2500 defense, and requires 2 or more level 7 monsters. So Kashtira can definitely abuse this card like it's nothing. The third effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, gain 700 attack for each material attached to it. Second effect reads, once per chain, when a normal or quick play spell is activated as a quick effect, you can attach that card on the field to this face-up card. If you do, this card is unaffected by the activated effects. Third effect reads, during the end phase, you can set one spell attached to this card. Oh my god. This is actually kind of sick. This is literally number 38 on steroids. This is a very dangerous floodgate. Being able to just automatically stop your opponent's spell cards right off the bat. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. The only downside though is that if you were to activate a draw card, whether it's like just as a random example, let's say for example you activate, I'll say, Pot of Prosperity, just as a random example. You banish your six cards, even if your opponent, even if this card were to attach Prosperity to itself as a material, the effect would still resolve. Which is a bit of a downside, But still, being able to just automatically gain more and more and more and more materials with each passing turn, it is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I will say though, I think looking at this card and looking at the other three cards, they are all going to be very dominant in the meta. It is going to be insane. It is going to be a very insane format when these cards get released. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.